Austin from Kidside Press, and I'm here with Jerald Spohn, who defeated Nick Olsen at CFFC 96 this past weekend. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for reaching out.
Of course. And we were just talking about that intro, and I fucked it up. So,
You can run it again if you want. I got all day, man.
so I wasn't asked you how often do you get your first name butchered?
A lot. I get a lot of like Jared's, which is funny because there's like the L is there. So it's more the last name actually. Like a lot of people say Spohn or Spoon. I understand Spohn because of the H, but I don't get Spoon.
Jerald Spohn, huh?
Yeah. That's the name apparently.
So we're about 6 days removed from your pro debut. How are you feeling? Any injuries?
No, not at all. I got hit with a jab and an up kick, and that was about it. And I'm all good, man.
That's awesome to hear. Before we talk about your fight, I read a couple interviews, and I know that you were looking for a nickname, and I see that you went with the Neon Dawn. How'd that come about? Is that what you're sticking with?
I don't know. I change things up all the time, so who knows? But I got a teammate that calls me the Neon Don because he says I'm like the ginger riffraff, and like we love his music and think he's hilarious. So I just decided to run with it. And now like more guys are calling me the Neon Don, so it might be here to stay. Who knows?
I mean, it's clever and it's original, So
Yeah, for sure. And I am kind of like see through in orange, so I'm kind of neon-ish.
I do got to ask. So growing up as a redhead, I mean, did you get picked on? Were you plagued by South Park jokes? I mean,
I am a huge South Park fan actually, so like I thought all that stuff was hilarious. Kids would like try to mess with me, but it was just like I'm a like a goofball myself, so they would make jokes and I would just go with it, and then it didn't make it fun for them. They'd just be like, "Oh, like you're a ginger," and I'd be like, "Yeah, bro, I can't go outside for more than like 10 minutes, like or I'll die." And then they're like, "Oh, this isn't fun," you know?
yeah, meet humor with humor, and it just kind of just eh.
Yeah, it doesn't work. They try to fuck with you, and then you just disarm it. So.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I guess what's the story of your journey to mixed martial arts? I mean, were you a fight fan before wrestling at Kent State? And I guess just let everyone know like what your journey was.
So I started wrestling in high school, or well, I started wrestling in eighth grade, and I had always been a fan of the sport. Me and my brothers always watched it. Friends are always into it. So it was kind of one of those things like if I can't compete on the Olympic level as a wrestler, let's try our hand at fighting. And I found out more and more as I went, like my wrestling was better suited for MMA than it was collegiate style wrestling. So it just kind of unfolded that way. And as soon as I got done with college, I was like, let's go. So we started training, and here we are. It's been about 3.5 years now. So
Was there ever any thought to do pro wrestling instead of wrestling? Because I guess that's kind of, if people don't get to the Olympics, they either go MMA or they go pro wrestling. I guess, so was there any thought about that?
it's been like a slight consideration just from the fact of I do want to get into like some acting. Like I do like some uh, open mic comedy, like here and there in my off time. And I've been writing forever, and it's something I'd like to do. So I kind of see like pro wrestling as like the intersection of like being an athlete and being an actor. So maybe sometime down the line, maybe at the whenever I'm done getting punched in the face for real, I'll take these fictitious punches.
Stand-up comedy. Have you ever been on stage?
Yeah, I've done multiple open mic sets. I've never had like I'm still sharpening the tools. I'm not to the point to where anyone's calling me to do like a full set. Like I'll take 5 minutes, like but yeah, I've had good nights, I've had bad nights, some in between. So it's like fighting, man, like you just got to train.
um, I guess with that bombing, that to me, bombing on stage is the most frightening thing. I can't even fathom. Like,
Yeah.
if I were to do that, I mean, I'd probably like go into a room and never come out. Just like so
Yeah.
scary to me.
It fucking sucks, dude. It is so it's the most awkward, like you never feel more like like vulnerable than you do when you just have eyes staring at you like what the hell are you talking about? Like it sucks.
Well, I mean, I guess I have listened to your podcast and you're
Mhm.
funny. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
you're
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, so I mean, a professional fighter and someone who can tell jokes on stage. I mean, that's
Bro, I need these promotions to give me the mic. I was upset that CFFC didn't hand me a microphone. I had some shit to say. Um,
seriously. I was like, really?
yeah. I mean, I don't think that's entirely on them. They're in PA. They're still underneath some strict guidelines from the state. So got to follow the commissioner's rules, and then yeah, I mean, I'm sure someone will hand me a microphone soon. I mean, I got one now, so
For sure, for sure. So yeah, so let's talk about your fight with Nick. I mean, you only get one pro debut, and I gotta say, it was a pretty damn good one. How would you rate your performance?
thank you. I give it like an 8. I went out and as far as executing the game plan and doing what needed to be done, flawless. I mean, excuse me. I went out, I hit him a few times on the feet, and then he tried to clinch up with me, which was an interesting. I didn't really see that happening. It was an interesting choice by him, but and then I took advantage of it. Got on the ground, just kind of operated under the inch into a better position, cause some damage. Inch into a better position, cause some damage. And there were some things that I saw technically that I could have done better. Some things like that I could have made my life a little easier, maybe even made the short a little bit shorter, the fight a little bit shorter. But yeah, man. I mean, I couldn't ask for much more. I'm like I did a great job, and I'm very proud of myself. But I also am critical of where I could have been better too. So
Where what are you critical about?
there were some positions on the ground where I was in half guard where I could have done some things differently to make it a little easier to advance my position a little bit and to make it easier in terms of like landing strikes and not continue to get pushed like back up to my feet off of them so much. Some stuff that I know that I just like I was concerned with trying to hit him in the face and I take pride in staying composed and working position before damage, and I was kind of opting for damage, but not so much that it got it put me in a bad spot. So I did a good job, but it's small technical things that to the everyday viewer they probably would never have noticed, but I live in the details.
Of course, of course. I
Mhm.
mean, you're an artist, so you're very critical.
Yep.
I do. So it's another first round finish, and you don't get paid by the minute. But would you like some more cage time in your next fights? I know I think your first amateur fight was a decision, like you went to a draw,
Mhm.
and then you had a third round finish, but all the rest of them in first round finishes basically. I mean, is that just your style?
It's just, yeah, man. I mean, I'm ready to bring it. I think like what you'll see is the guys like I'll take my hat off to anyone that can go 3 rounds because I'm gonna bring the pressure. It's and that's what I'm about. And guys are gonna fold. So you could be a very skilled guy, but unless you get me out of there quick, like I'm gonna make you fold at some point. And I think we see that a lot, in the amateur career. You catch some guys that are, trying to figure out if they're gonna do it, stuff like that. The mentally tough guys, the first two guys I had were probably the first two were the best two fighters I fought. Like and then the guy I had in my latest amateur fight, my last amateur fight, was a tough dude too. I kind of had his card in the way that I beat him my freshman year of college when we wrestled. I spanked him. So then he might have had that in the back of his mind when we fought. So
Mm.
But yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna be coming at people. I'm gonna be coming hard. I'm gonna be coming fast, and eventually they will break. And if not, like we might have a longer fight. So I'll welcome those guys, and I'll be in the cage as long as I need to be. But at the same time, like I like having a brain. So like if I go my entire career not making it out of the first round and not being on the receiving end of the punishment, like sign me up.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What's next? How many fights do you want this year? And I guess how many fights do you want before a big promotion picks you up?
So I think humbly speaking, I think I could use three more fights before getting picked up by the big show. Um, Maybe two, who knows? It just kind of depends on the timing. It's not so much about the fights in particular. It's more about the development in the gym. I mean, the fights are like, it's like, you just get, you're just doing practice problems all day, every day. And then you get an exam every 3, 4 months. So the way that I look at it is like, how I do on those exams are important, but the day to day is going to tell me where I'm at. So past that test with flying colors, the debut test, and now it's I'm close. I think it kind of depends. I think there are guys I could stand in there with right now, at the bottom of the roster that I could compete with and potentially beat. Um, but I think there are other guys that I just need to be more seasoned. I've like you said, I've only been in the cage for a certain amount of time and only faced so much adversity. So let's rack up the skills a little bit.
Do you want to stick with CFFC, or are you open to whoever?
I'm open to any and everyone. That's not a knock to CFFC. They were fantastic. They mentioned having me back. I'd be happy to go right back and compete with them 1, 2, 3 more times until I get shipped off to the UFC. But that being said, I'm open to any and all opportunities. If LFA comes calling or something like that, it's not to say I'm gonna jump ship and be like 100%. I'm taking that opportunity, but if someone's offering me two shiny apples, why not inspect the both of them and decide which one to choose? So.
For sure, for sure. I mean, and you were on Fight Pass. I guess I
Mhm.
was gonna say like, how was that? But I mean, it just that's it's a big platform, and for your pro debut, that must have been awesome because you had so many eyeballs. Did you have a lot of people reaching out afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, like tons, man. Messages after messages, DMs, stories, all that. I am very blessed to have a phenomenal support system and following. I'm a debut guy and I sold like 40 or 45 tickets. Like, yeah, I mean, it was an 8-hour drive and there were people after, like my people were all saddled up and like came and showed out. I had the largest crowd by far, I think. There might have been one other fighter that had a pretty good crowd, but I think he was a local or kind of close guy. I mean, um, what I'll say is wherever I'm at, whoever it's with, whatever I'm doing, like, I do it for those people. I take a lot of pride, and I'm very thankful that so many are willing to spend their time, energy, and money paying attention to me. So I'm gonna make it worth it, regardless. And anyone and everyone's welcome. So hop on the Jerald train, and we'll have a fun ride.
Right, that's right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. If you want to plug your blog, plug your podcast, your sponsors. Also, you have a mic that CFFC didn't give you a chance to talking to. Go right ahead.
So social medias at Jerald Spohn on everything. That's my name as you see it, JeraldSpohn. The podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the platforms. It's called Hard to Kill. Um, Really, what that's about is bringing on different individuals with varying skill sets and talking about what makes them not literally hard to kill, but hard to kill in the sense of what makes them exceptional as a person, whether it is a certain skill set, a mindset, how they approach certain things, what have you. So, and as far as anything else, yeah, shout out to all my sponsors. They know who they are. I love you guys. I'm open to any and all sponsorship opportunities as well. Let's build the family. And the last thing I will say is that, like, anyone that's with me um, now or decides to hop on board, you are family. This is a community. I got your back, if you've got mine. So that includes you, since you're here right now with me. So yeah, anyone that wants to jump on board, like, I got you. Like, let's do this. This isn't a journey just for me. What's a great journey without people to enjoy it with? So let's go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jerald.
Yep, absolutely.